Hello guys, welcome to my channel, and today we are going to see how can we create this type of realistic renders in Autodesk Maya using Arnold render engine. So here is a set that I have made. So this set will be available on my Patreon, so you can download it. And if you have any queries or any doubts in your mind, you can ask me in my Discord channel. If necessary, I will make a video on that topic. So let me explain you about this set. So here is just a small cube, and here is a wall, and this is the model that I have downloaded from the internet. And here is a curtain that I have simulated, so it is too much like heavy poly, so this much was not needed, but I was trying out some of the simulations, so I thought it would be better to keep a little bit more polygon count, so I made this. So the texture over here on top of this is from Quixel bridge, and the textures over here is given from the site from where I have downloaded this. So here I do not have any normal maps on the chair, and here as well I do not have any normal maps on this. So I've added the base map and the roughness map, so you can see still it has quite details. So this is on to the texturing, so I just wanted to showcase without normal maps to create a render like this. So let's get on to the rendering and lighting setups. Okay, so I will hide my old lights, and this is what we have currently. So first we'll go to Arnold lights and skydome. So this is what we have right now. Okay, so I won't change anything in my intensity or the settings in for my skydome. So if you want, sometimes usually for all cases one will be okay, but if you're adding some images for SDRI, you can change the intensity to 0.5, or you can come back to 1. Okay, so next step, we'll add our directional light or sunlight. We'll scale this, and so do not worry if it lags. So if you want, you can go to the render settings, and this is my render settings. I'm using GPU RTX 4070, and I'm currently at 3. And here I have turned on the denoiser, which will help me to look at my render in a very low resolution and raw camera AA, so that it will be rendering really fast. And for my settings for the preset, it is 1080, and I'm using one camera that I have placed over here. Then all settings, I haven't changed anything else in these settings. Okay, so let's work on with our directional light. So we'll just rotate this, and we can see we can get a slightly. So let us bring the light in, and now we'll increase the intensity. In my case, I'm making it for like 10, and this is a rough setup for my light. So here we can see we have a very harsh line, and all the light is falling over this place, and the rest is in shadows. So we'll go to the light settings over here. Shadow color, we'll keep it as it is. So if you want, you can change. We'll go to Arnold, we'll go to angle, we'll make it 1, so that we will get a softer line. Now in shadow density, I'll make it as 0.7. so you can see we have a lot more light over here, so it looks pretty natural. So this is where you have to play around with the settings, so that you can get a realistic look according to your reference, if you're going to use any reference for lighting for set. So this is how you can keep it. So already it is looking nice, but I will add one more light to support my directional light. This will be the area light. So in directional light, I'm not using exposure, I'm only keeping the intensity. Exposure is 0, but in area light I will be keeping the intensity to 1 and I will play around with the exposure. So it depends upon the scene and upon the look and feel how you want it, but most cases I prefer to use intensity to 1 and exposure I will play around with the exposure. So here I have my light setup. So here I will keep it to 1 and I will make this to 16. So now we have one supporting light for our directional light. So if I disable this, so we can see difference. It's not that much, but it helps a lot to bring up a really nice lighting and render. So if you want, you can play around with the settings of area light, but for this scenario it is okay. So I do not want to change any settings, as this video will be for beginners, so I do not want to put a lot of settings in your mind so that you will be confused. So this is a very basic setup what you should know if you are going to do a rendering in Maya using Arnold. Okay, so now the default will be like something like this. The shadow density will be 1. So you can see we have this dark area over here. So this is very important, so you can change and play around with these settings. And now if you want, you can play around with this. So if the intensity is 3, I will make it 13. So you can play around with this. So there is a formula on the internet that rendering artist, lighting artist have made for how much, if the intensity is this much, how much you should keep the exposure. So that is up to you. If you want to research, you can. So okay, so this much for this video. So please do join my Discord, so that if you have any doubts, any queries related to anything in CG, 3D modeling, animation, rigging, or anything like that, you can ask over there, and if needed I will make a video on that. Thank you guys. Bye bye.